Hey guys, welcome back to a new reaction on this channel. Today I'm going to be react to some more Xdinary heroes, and today with a massive song, I'm honest with you, because it's a cover of Hellevator by Stray Kids. First of all, my last Xdinary hero reaction is not that long ago, that was 3 weeks ago, to their song Bicycle. In my opinion, one of the best Xdinary hero tracks I reacted to. But today we have another cover, because maybe you also remember a month ago, or between 1 and 2 months ago, I reacted also to the Bring Me the Horizon Drowned cover by Xdinary Hero. It was also a good cover, but of course it's hard to top Bring Me the Horizon. But I also have to say that Drown is not my favorite Bring Me the Horizon track, because I'm more into their heavier tracks. And Drown is of course a really soft round by Bring Me the Horizon. But now we have another song it's hard to top, in my opinion. We got Hellevator by Stray Kids, and maybe you know, I reacted to a lot of Stray Kids tracks here on the channel. You showed me this group for the very first time, and Hellevator was one of my very first Stray Kids reactions, I guess, if I remember that right. And it's still, well, definitely one of my absolute favorite Stray Kids songs. I really love that song so much that it's still, to this day, my outro track after a video. So when you finished this video and you want to see the outro, you will have Hellevator by Stray Kids in the background. Because I think it's the perfect outro track. This freaking drop, massive, really massive. So it's hard to top. It's really hard to top, and of course, I want to see a really, really awesome Xdinary hero cover, but it will be hard to impress me. I'm honest, but we will see. Xdinary Heroes with Hellevator original by Stray Kids. Let's freaking go.
어두운 터널 속을 걷고 있어 내게 잔인하고 두려운 나를 홀로 버티고 있어 멀어져가는 요실복도 낯선 기회에 지치리도 복도 없이 내가 많은 길을 가는 갈 다 팔지더도 난 없이 위로 가는 길을 절대 다시 뒤로 가기 싫음 막막한 미로 피눈물이 신 피땀 흘리며 나를 위로 사람들은 내게 말해 그 정도의 고비는 지나가는 소나기라고 성공은 약그르면 두려워도 실패라는 더 시칼라고 그래 나는 고통이라 미끼를 덮은 문제 방황하는 거에 지친 열정의 날개를 잠시 접어두자 떨었지 어두운 터널 속을 걷고 있어 내겐 잔인하고 두려운 하루 홀로 버티고 있어 손을 내밀어도 날 잡아줄 사람 아무도 없어 내 아픔에 눈물이 타고 위로 빠져나가고 있어 I wanna Hellevator My Hellevator I wanna Hellevator My Hellevator 아무것도 없어 날 위한 손길은 걱정 하나 없이 차가운 말들뿐 엉터리 꿈을 좀 접어 포기란 말들이 내 길을 때려가며 절망감만 커져가 희망이란 하늘을 주변 사람이 손으로 가린다 날 살려기도 하며 버티고 있어 날 째려보는 다가온 시선들을 실성하지 않을 만해 짧아봤자 누군가의 광대로밖에 안 남을 넌가 수란의 직업을 집어쳐 그 말을 들으며 약히 저만 가는 내 자신을 미쳤다 떨어지 어두운 터널 속을 걷고 있어 내게 잔인하고 두려운 하루를 홀로 버티고 있어 손을 내밀어도 날 잡아줄 사람 아무도 없어 네 아픈 내 눈물을 타고 위로 빠져나가고 있어 I wanna Hellevator
Alright guys, I'm sorry to pause the after that because I got copyright strikes. I guess no! This is Xdinary Heroes with Hellevator originally by Stray Kids. First of all, I told you it's hard to top. The problem I have right now is not that I would say they are topping that, but it's hard to compare. Because these two songs, so the original by Stray Kids and the cover by Xdinary Heroes, they sound too different. They sound too different to compare, in my opinion. There are things I would say I like in the original way more. There are also things where I would say, hey, Xdinary Heroes is doing that extremely amazing here. Of course, the biggest thing they are doing here different is the drop. Usually, of course, the original song by Stray Kids is a really electronical song. And when you have this pre-chorus and they are dropping it into this Hellevator part, into this drop, usually a massive electronical beat is playing, in my opinion. And that's also the beat I have in my outro. Xdinary Hero is doing that with their guitars, not with an electronical drop. They're making this with their guitars. First of all, of course, I would say I would stick more to the original by Stray Kids because I like this. I love this electronical drop. That is one of the best electronical drops, I'm honest with you. But on the other side, I'm really impressed. I'm always impressed when bands or guitar players can play electronical beats with their freaking guitars. I'm always impressed about that. And I'm also here impressed. Even if I would say I like the electronical version more. But still, it's massive that they're doing that. When the song started, I thought that the original song by Stray Kids got a little bit more volume, if I can say that. I know that Xdinary Hero is a rock band, and they are usually more volume, if I can say that, louder. But the original song by Stray Kids felt more, I don't want to say heavier, but just louder and stuff. I was a little bit confused at the beginning. But then they changed it, especially in the pre-chorus. Because when the pre-chorus started and the whole instrumental started, they started the whole instrumental play, then they got a little bit more voluminous, if I can say that. I guess you know exactly what I mean. So overall, it's a really, really cool and different cover. And of course, in general, I also love that because I don't like covers when you're just covering a song one by one. Then why a cover? But so I think it's awesome that Xdinary Heroes is doing this Stray Kids track on their own thing. They're not covering it one-to-one. They make their own with that song, and I freaking love that. But still, overall, I would stick more to the original. Because, like I said, it's hard to top that. Because the original song is freaking perfect. And in my opinion, you can't do a perfect thing better. But, like I said, still a big fan of this cover. I'm honest with you. So we go a little bit back that we have to drop again. Let's go back to the song. Sorry. 깜깜해도 남길을 미쳐버릴 듯 지겨운 시간이 쳐버릴 듯 이 길을 뛰어 외면하던 새로운 시작의 종소리가 울리며 나는 놀란 다시 내 손을 잡고 펜트하우스로 데려다지 마 Hellevator That was Xdinary Heroes with Hellevator, originally by Stray Kids. And especially in the last chorus, you saw that they are doing their complete own thing, because then they even use their own guitar solos in there. That was really cool. So overall, in my opinion, a really cool and a really interesting cover, because they're doing their complete own thing with that song. But still, I would stick to the original song, but just because it's a freaking perfect track. You can't make a perfect track better, in my opinion. It's sad but true. I just love the electronical beats Stray Kids original got in this track, and that's what I'm freaking for. And of course, Xdinary here is doing that with the guitars, but these electronic beats, they're, in my opinion, better. But still, I have a lot of respect for Xdinary Heroes, because they can play that on freaking guitar. That is insane. Like I said, that is really talented, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that was Xdinary Heroes with Hellevator. A massive cover, in my opinion, and definitely a complete different one to the original, but that's why it was extremely interesting, in my opinion. So thanks for this request. It was a request from you. If you have any other requests, wishes, whatever, write that down in the comments. You can write my Instagram, link is down in the description. If you want to talk about Xdinary Heroes with me at all community, join our community Discord. Link is down in the description. You can join anytime. You can talk about anything you want. It'd be cool to see you there. And if you haven't seen my other Xdinary Heroes reactions, I will give you my Xdinary Heroes reaction playlist right now in the outro. And if you want to hear the original Hellevator track by Stray Kids, just keep the video on for the next 10 seconds, alright? And now, have a lot of fun with the original track, and I say, bye!